My parents gave my college fund to my sister, so I made them choose between us. I, 20, just got hit with the biggest betrayal of my life. I've always been the good son. The one who stayed out of trouble, got decent grades, helped around the house, never asked for much. My parents always said they were proud of how independent I was. Cool. Whatever. They started saving for my college when I was a kid. Birthdays, holidays, every time I didn't get something I wanted, it was always, "It's going into your college fund." I didn't complain. I believed them. Fast forward to this year, I get accepted into my dream university. Tuition's insane, but I figured I'd be okay between scholarships and the fund they promised me. Then one night, I'm in the hallway and hear my parents talking in the kitchen. "Mom, she needs it more than he does. He's smart, he'll figure it out." "Dad, yeah, he always does." That sinking feeling in my chest. Yeah. That was real. Turns out, they gave my entire college fund to my sister, 22, the one who dropped out of high school twice, got pregnant, again, doesn't have a job, and still lives at home rent-free. They didn't even tell me. When I confronted them, they acted like I was overreacting. My mom hit me with the, "She's struggling, she needs support," and my dad just stood there, silent. I asked, "So doing everything right means I get screwed over?" "That's the reward." She said, "You're resilient. You'll figure it out." Nah. I'm done playing the golden child. I packed a bag and left that night. Crashing at a friend's place now, working part-time, trying to get loans. But I'm not done. They made their choice. Now it's my turn. 3 weeks. That's how long I went no contact. No texts, no calls, nothing. I didn't even tell them where I was staying. And guess what? They didn't reach out once. Not even to check if I was alive. During that time, I got a crash course in how brutal life can be when you're suddenly on your own. I took on 2 part-time jobs. One at a gas station, the other at a crappy diner that smelled like grease and despair. But I didn't complain. Because every shift, every dollar, just fueled the fire inside me. They thought I'd fold. That I'd crawl back and accept being second place in my own damn life. Nah. I went back home, not to move in, just to talk. My sister answered the door, belly already showing. She looked shocked to see me. "I thought you weren't coming back," she said. "Yeah, me too," I replied. But I needed closure. My parents were sitting in the living room. They looked guilty, well, my mom did. My dad just looked tired. I didn't scream. Didn't throw a tantrum. I just said, "I'm giving you a choice. Either you make this right, or I'm done. For good." "Mom, honey, we can't take the money back. It's already helping her get on her feet." "Me, no. You didn't give it to her. You stole it from me. And don't talk to me about fairness when you never even told me." Dad tried to calm things down with his usual passive BS, but I wasn't having it. "I'm not asking for anything. I'll figure out college myself. What I am saying is this: if you want a relationship with me moving forward, it starts with honesty, respect, and some damn accountability." Then I looked at my sister. "I don't hate you. But you knew what that money was for. You took it anyway." She didn't say a word. I left without waiting for an answer. This time, they know I'm not bluffing. That a few days after that conversation, my phone started blowing up. Missed calls. Voicemails. Texts from my mom like, "Please come home. We miss you. You're still our son. You don't understand what she's going through." I didn't respond. Not out of spite, but because I realized something. For the first time in my life, I wasn't trying to earn their approval. I wasn't waiting for a pat on the back or some half-assed apology. I was focused on me. I applied for student aid. Reached out to some counselors at the university. Explained everything. One of them actually helped me land a private scholarship, not for academics, but for students who've been financially abandoned by their families. Yeah, apparently that's a thing. Funny how strangers did more for me in 1 week than my own parents did in 20 years. Meanwhile, I started hearing things from mutual friends. My sister was complaining about how hard everything was. About how the money wasn't enough. Turns out, she spent a chunk of it on furniture, clothes, and a baby moon trip with the baby daddy, who, shocker, bailed 2 weeks later. My mom texted again. Maybe we made a mistake. Can we talk? That one almost got to me. But I stayed quiet. I wasn't being petty. I was just done playing the family's emotional punching bag. They made their decision. They showed me where I stood. Now I'm showing them I can stand without them. I didn't reply to my mom's last text. But I read it. Over and over again. Maybe we made a mistake. Can we talk? The old me would have jumped at that. Rushed back home, hoping for some half-baked apology just to feel included again. But that version of me? He's long gone. I started classes last month. I made it work, scholarships, work-study, loans, late nights, early mornings. It's not easy. But every time I walk across campus, I feel free. Like I finally chose myself for once. A few days ago, I ran into my aunt, Mom's sister, at the grocery store. She gave me this awkward half-hug and said, "You should really call your mom. She's been crying a lot lately." I just said, she should have thought about that before picking favorites. And walked off. Here's the thing, I don't hate my family. I'm just done sacrificing my future for people who wouldn't do the same for me. They wanted to play favorites. Cool. Let them live with their favorite. From what I've heard, things at home aren't going so great. My sister's barely keeping it together. The baby's due soon, and she's already fighting with our parents over money. It's almost funny. They thought I was the one who'd fall apart. That I'd come crawling back. But I'm thriving without them. And now, when they look at me, all they see is the son they lost, graduation day. I was standing in my cap and gown, holding my diploma. It didn't feel real. For years of grinding. For years of proving to myself that I didn't need anyone to save me. I did it on my own. I looked around the crowd. Families were cheering, hugging, crying. Mine wasn't there. Well, not at first. After the ceremony, I saw them. My mom, dad, and sister, standing off to the side. Watching me. They didn't wave. They didn't smile. They just stood there. I knew they had come. Not because they were proud, but because they finally realized they couldn't control me anymore. Because I'd built a future without their help. My mom took a step forward, tears in her eyes. "We're so proud of you." I didn't say anything. Just nodded once, turned around, and walked away. That moment felt like closure. Not dramatic. Not angry. Just done. They made their choice years ago. And so did I.